This is a tutorial in using the effect Add Perspective. The Add Perspective effect is located in Effects and Add Perspective. So our target or objective graphics here is we're going to recreate this box here. Okay, and all of these are vector image. If you click on View and click on wireframe, you'd notice that all of these are vector image. We didn't use any bitmaps here. Let's go View, Enhance View. Go back to Enhance View. Now, how do we use perspective here? For example, I'm going to type in some text. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here, and I can create a perspective text effect. So if I click on the text and go to Effects and click on Add Perspective, then I'm going to see these red lines there, and see these 4 small squares. I can drag that to change the perspective. So for example, I'm going to click this one and going down, and if you notice this X here, that's the vanishing point. So that's the perspective. Okay, so you can apply perspective on text. You can also apply perspective on objects. Say for example, I'm going to draw 2 boxes, and let's just say I'm going to do it like that. I have to group 2 objects if I want to create a perspective effect, because if not, see, if I select these 2 without grouping it, I click on Effects, the Add Perspective is grayed out. Okay, so I have to group it together. So I'm going to group it. You can click on this icon here for group, or Control G, and then I go to Effects, Add Perspective. Now I can use perspective because those are grouped together already. Okay, so how about photographs? The perspective effect unfortunately cannot be used in a photograph. See, if I click on this photograph here of the flower and I click on Effects, the Add Perspective is grayed out. Means to say I cannot apply the perspective effect on this photograph. But there is also a way how to do that, or a solution how to put a perspective effect on a photograph, is by tracing the bitmap. So if I click on an object, or sorry, a photograph, and I click on Trace Bitmap, Outline Trace, I click on High Quality Image, and here I'm going to trace this one. You notice this one, it's already been traced here, and then I click OK. Okay, it depends upon the detail you want. Okay, I move the slider going to the right to make more detail. So this is the traced image already here, and this is the actual original photograph, and then I click OK. Okay, now if you notice here, I have 2 objects here. This is my original one, and this is my traced image. Now if I click on View and click on Wireframe, this one here, the right side, is the vector image, and then this one is the bitmap. So now I click on Enhance View. Now the problem with the vector image here is that if I zoom in here, it has those white outlines. Okay, in order to remove that, what I usually do, I click on the object or the photograph that was traced, which is all vector now, and click on the plus sign, and now it removes the outline. But then you have to group this again. So select these 2 objects and group. Now if I click on effect and click on add perspective, then now you notice that I can change the perspective of the traced image. Yeah. So that's the overview of perspective. I'm just going to delete these, and we're going to go back to our project, which is this one here. So this is our main project here. So as you notice that we use perspective here. Okay. Now what I did, I already prepared what we're going to do. Okay, so first of all, this is design of the box. It's like a DVD box, okay, with maybe five DVDs inside. So this is the artwork of the box. Okay, this is this one here, and this is this one, and this top one will be this one. Now to start with the tutorial, I wanted to show you this one, which is this is the box. I just got a low resolution box in in the internet, and it shows the perspective of the box. So what I normally do here is that I'm going to put some guidelines onto the low resolution box. Okay. So how do you grab the outline, the guidelines? So in here, in your rulers here, I click and drag down. Okay. And then here, the guidelines is also like objects. If you click and then click one more time, and then you notice that you're going to have this rotation pins here. So I can rotate. See, I can rotate, and see this one is the rotation pin too. So wherever I choose the rotation angle. So for example here, I move this over this side, and then I rotate. Okay, the center of rotation would be that one. Okay. So I'm gonna delete that first, and we'll do it again. So now we will make that center first. So I'll make one guideline first. So this one here, I click one more time so that I can see the rotation, but then this rotation center, I'm going to move it over this side here. Okay, and then I can now rotate it this way. Okay, so that's for the line, for that line. Just gonna adjust it again. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now I can also duplicate the guideline. So I click on the guideline, plus sign in my keyboard. Now it duplicates. There are two guidelines there. Then I can drag the other one going this way here. There. But you notice it's off a little bit, so I click again, and the rotation pin, I'm gonna move it over this side, and then I'm gonna rotate there. So that looks good now. Now I'm going to have one more here. Click on this and then plus sign in your keyboard to duplicate the guideline, and then move one down. Okay, and then you notice that this one has to be adjusted. So click on it again, the rotation center, move it to this side, and then I'm going to rotate there. Good. And I'm going to go back to my box. Now I'm going to drag a vertical guideline, click here, and then move it this way. So click again, and I'm going to move this rotation angle in here, and I'm going to rotate there. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate it, plus sign your keyboard, and then I'm going to go move one, and then I'm going to just adjust it a little bit. I think this one I have to adjust. Oops. So click on it, and then I'm going to adjust this way. There. Now I'm going to get one more. I'm going to go move with it here. click on it again, change the rotation center going this side, and then I'm going to rotate. Okay. So that's for that line here. So I click on it, plus sign your keyboard, move it over here. Okay. And then actually I'm going to make another one, plus sign in your keyboard, and bring it down for that. And then click again and change the rotation angle, move it this way, and then rotate a little bit. There. And I need one more. Click again, and then I'm going to put this rotation pin there, and I'm going to move it this way. Okay. So I think we're all set. Now I'm going to zoom in here just to make sure that the guidelines should intersect. Like for example here, I'm gonna move it over this side, and say this one has to be rotated some more like that, because it has to intersect. It has to have only one intersection point. Okay, I think I'm good. And the last thing is this one here. Okay. Okay, now we're good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this low resolution image. There. Now let's concentrate on the guidelines here. So now I can go to my Bezier tool, which is this one. Okay. Now I'm ready to draw the lines. But now the best thing to do is you click on view, because we're going to click on snap to guidelines, okay, so that it will snap into the intersection of the guidelines. So click on snap to guidelines, and then I am going to start drawing. So snap here, intersection, here, 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 and then close. Okay. I'm going to color it gray. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to use my Bezier tool again. I'm going to go to this intersection here, going this side here, and then down, down, and then close. I'm gonna color it a different shade of gray. Okay, and the last one would be this. Click, 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 and close. And then there. Now I have a box already. Now what we're going to do, we're going to remove the outline, or we're going to hide the, not outline, the guidelines. So click on view and remove the guidelines or hide it. Okay. Now we're just gonna check all the intersecting. Okay, that's okay. See, like this one, we have to fix it a little bit. So you go to your shape tool and then just move it there. Okay, that one's good, and this one's good. Okay, so F3 to zoom out. F3. Okay, now we're fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to group this. Okay, click on group or Control G, and then I'm going to lock this. Go to arrange and lock object. Okay, now I already have the box. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my graphic here, and I'm going to move this one over to the right side here, and I'm going to zoom in, make this smaller just to match our object here, or our box. Okay, now we're ready. So it's best to group the sides first. I'm gonna group this one, Control G, or click on this icon here. This one too, Control G, or this icon. And this one, it's best to remove the outline. I'm going to remove the outline by going here and I'll call in palette in the X1 and then right mouse click to click on none, and then I'm going to group this one. Okay, now I'm ready to do a perspective. So I click on it. Okay. Now the best thing here to do is you go to your view, make sure snap to object or Alt Z for the shortcut key to activate snap to object. Okay, snap to object is very handy because when I go here, if you notice that there, see if I go to here, it says midpoint, go here node, I go here edge. Okay, so I'm going to click on this node here, which is that's the edge, and I'm going to move it over here. See, it snaps to this corner here, and I'm going to go to arrange order to front of page or shift page up. Okay, now I'm ready to do the perspective effect here. So this is grouped together. I go to, and this is all vector, so I click on effects, add perspective, and then once you click on add perspective, you're going to have these four corners like this square, small squares, black squares. You can move that one. So for example here, and since we're snapping to objects, so we're snapping on this node here, and I'm going to snap to this one here, and I'm going to snap to this. Perfect. So we had one side already. Let's go back to let's do the top portion. So I click on it, grab this node here, see it highlights when I'm going to that side, and grab it from there and move it to this edge there, or to that node. Arrange order to front of page. Okay. Now I can go effects, add perspective. Okay. I can drag this one going this side, and I can actually drag this one first over here, drag that there, and then drag this one going down there, and it snaps. Okay, so we got that side ready. So the only thing to do is we're going to use to put this one. So move this one here, arrange order to front of page, and I'm going to click on this grouped object and effects, add perspective, and then click here on this black square, and there you go. So we just created a box. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to make it a realistic box. Okay, we don't need this box anymore, so you go to arrange, unlock all objects, and delete this one. Okay, now we're going to work on our graphic here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here. Now to make it more realistic, but first, because we changed the perspective, we have to fix something here. It's like, for example, this gradient fill, it's out of the center, so I ungroup this first. I click on this one here, and then I'm still going to ungroup that. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go to my interactive fill just to fix this one here. So I'm going to move this one going this side, this one too. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm fixing the interactive fill or the gradient. Okay, so I'm fine there. I'll go back here, and I'm going to group that again. Control G or group. Now here's my disk here. Okay, so I'm going to go to arrange order to front of page. Control Z. Now I'm going to make this bigger, and you notice here in our target we have this one a little bit slanted. Okay, I'm going to skew that what I'm going to do is I'm going to click one more time, and then here skew it a little bit, and then I'm going to make this bigger. What I'm doing is I'm just adjusting it there, and let's go back here. Yeah, I think we're fine. Just one more thing. Okay, I'm gonna make that smaller. Okay. Now to make the shadow of this disc here, or the DVD, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an ellipse going this way, just touching that, and another ellipse over here. There. Because actually what I only need is this part here. Okay, so I'm going to select my two ellipses and then also the disc. I'm going to move it over to the right side first. Okay, because the only thing I need is this tiny area here. So I go to my Smart Fill tool, I click on this. There, that's the only thing I need. Now I can delete this one and delete this one too. Then I can make this black. Remove the outline, right mouse click here, and I'm going to go to my transparency tool and click and drag. There. I'm gonna adjust that later. And then I'm going to move this one to here. There. Just to give a a realistic effect on the disc, on the disc. Now to make it more realistic too, I'm going to create a shadow onto this part of the box here. So I go to my Bezier tool. Okay, so make sure you are in snap to object or Alt Z. So I click on this here, this edge, click here. Okay, and I'm going to close it. I'm going to click on black. Remove the outline. You can go here too and then click on none. And go to your transparency tool and click and drag. Here. And this one should be on top. So I click on the disc and then click on arrange order to front of page. There, now it's more realistic now. Now I can still put some over in this side here. So I make a box from here, since it's snapping to objects, so I'm confident it snaps to every edge. I color it black, remove the outline by right mouse click on this icon here, the X icon, and go to my transparency tool and click and drag. Oops. The other way around. There. Okay. We won't make it too dark. Okay, I think that's fine. Now let's zoom out. Zoom out here, and we're going to see the box. Okay. Now we'll just grab the background, we'll just duplicate this, or actually I'm going to make a square here, or a rectangle, and then I'm going to sample the color here. I know it's sampled because see, it says here, and then I'm going to go to this rectangle here and shift and pour the color, and go to arrange order to back of page, and then I'm going to remove the outline, and then I'm just going to make a transparency. Click here, interactive transparency, and then click and drag. There. There you are. Now let's go back to our graphic here, which looks good. Now if you want to add some shadow here, we can also add that. Okay, so I go to my Bezier tool. Okay, I'm still snap to, okay, I'm just going to activate snap to object. I click on that one there and see it snaps and close. And I'm calling it black and remove the outline. Right mouse click on the X icon. And I'm going to my transparency and click on that. There. Just gonna put a little bit of shadow in there. There. Now this one's grouped together. Okay, this one. So I'm going to go plus sign my keyboard and then drag this one going down. Okay, I click one more time and I'm going to skew it until it reaches the tip there. And then I'm going to use my transparency tool, click and drag going down until it really fades. There. Somewhere. Because you only need a little bit of reflection. That's good. Now we go back here. Now we're going to do a reflection on this side of the box too. Plus sign your keyboard and bring it down. And click one more time. And then you skew it until you reach that thing. Now you're still going to do some adjustments here. So I'll move it this side here. There. I think that's better. And then you click on your transparency and click and drag. There. Until you just see a little bit of the reflection. And then we can bring this, put this back again. There you go.